Welcome to the Fruitful Faith Women on Mission podcast. This podcast is created for purpose-driven women just like you who crave more. On the Fruitful Faith podcast, you can expect Christ-centered conversations that will help you to cultivate a life that you and He love. We'll be talking about topics that matter, topics that impact your everyday life. We'll talk about anything from how to transition with grace, to what to do when you're overwhelmed, to how to be content and joyful right where God's got you. It's going to be good. Let's dive on in. Hey friend, and welcome to the Fruitful Faith Women on Mission podcast. I'm Alexandra Capel, a certified professional life coach for purpose-driven women who crave more and the founder of Grace-Based Christian Coaching. So our last episode in this goal setting series, we talked about goal setting for fellowship, for friends, community, all that good sort of a thing. We worked through some different coaching questions on that topic, and then I shared some of my own personal goals around fellowship too. Today, I'm really excited because we have a super fun topic in store, and that is actually the topic of fun. So, isn't it fun to think about fun? I'll also share that, for any of my fellow Enneagram 3s out there, so 3s, for a quick refresher, if you're not familiar, are the achievers. It may even be a bit tough, though, to talk about fun and an exercise in and of itself because we are so driven to do. Sometimes stopping and pausing and focusing on fun can be tricky, but it's a fun challenge all the same. So when you think about fun personally, what comes to mind? Just fun for you? Does it look like time to do whatever it is you'd like? Is it vacations, getaways? Maybe fun looks like grabbing coffee with a dear friend. Or maybe it's getting out in nature, getting outside and moving your body. Or perhaps fun could look like pursuing a hobby. One of the very best things that I did was a fun/happy brainstorm list back in college. So it was my senior year, and I was actually going through a pretty tough time and having difficulty even thinking about what exactly makes me happy. What do I love? And so what I did is literally wrote out a list of everything that brought me joy, everything that was fun and just joy filled. So it's something that I would highly recommend if you don't have a list like this yourself. Take some time, go outside, grab your favorite drink, and put on some music and write a fun list. It's almost like picking a restaurant. Maybe when you want to go out to eat, it can be just really tough in the moment to decide what you want to land on. And it's kind of can be the same thing like fun. Like, you want to do something, but what is it? It's phenomenal to almost have a list, a menu of sorts to kind of look at and think through. So when we think about fun too, it can almost be like love languages. If you haven't read that book already, by the way, I'd highly suggest it, The 5 Love Languages, whether you're in a relationship or not. It's completely, I would say, very much applicable for friendships and family members too. But really, fun, it means, and it can mean something different to everyone. But of course, it's super sweet when you experience what's personally fun for you. And then fun is so great too, because it's really, you can look at it as a form of rest. So when we're having fun, instead of being drained, we're being filled up. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't share that, Sabbath, that is the ultimate rest. Resting and taking breaks, it's actually a commandment so that we can be with the Lord and honor that day. The 4th commandment, I believe it is actually, is to remember this Sabbath day and to keep it holy. And that's in Exodus. So if you're feeling especially run down, you might want to take some time to consider how much of the Lord is part of your rest or part of your fun, if you will. And that also brings up another scripture, and that's Matthew 11:28-30. And it says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." So rest can be so powerful because it tends to put things in perspective for us. So kind of going off that, there are a couple powerful quotes. One is by Marianne Williamson, and it says that joy is what happens when we allow ourselves to realize how good things really are. I'll say that one again because it's good. Joy is what happens when we allow ourselves to realize how good things really are. And another one is by Bob Goff. He is fantastic. Definitely check out his book, Love Does, if you haven't already. It's just incredible. Nothing but good things to say about that. And a quote from Bob is that when joy is a habit, love is a reflex. Don't we all need more joy and more love in our lives? Okay, so now we are at the portion of today where we get to talk through coaching questions. So if you haven't already, I'd encourage you to maybe pop me on pause for a second, grab yourself a pen and your favorite notebook or journal, and we'll kind of dive into some coaching questions on fun. So the first one is consider what are maybe 3 to 5 or more things that are fun for you? What is it that brings you joy? So, kind of like that fun brainstorm list, just getting started on that and having fun with thinking of fun things. And then you might want to consider, what on that list is easiest to do? What can you do most likely no matter what's going on around you? So maybe that can look like playing music. Maybe that can look like taking 5 minutes to journal or read a book. And remembering things like that, sometimes we feel like we need to carve out an extensive period of time, but it's really simple. And even the benefits can be experienced in a pretty short period of time. Another question is what brings about the greatest change? So as you maybe wrote out that fun list, consider what might be most impactful if you do what. For me personally, there's so much about environment. So whenever I get away, whether it be a vacation, a day trip, even just going to spend time with a friend, that tends to be really pivotal. So that's definitely a high impact fun item, if you will. Another one is what's something you've been craving? What's on that fun list where your bucket is kind of low? Something that you could really just dive into or just really need more of in this season. So maybe that looks like more deep conversations with friends. Maybe that would be really fun for right now. And then you might want to also consider to think outside the box. What's something new that you can try that you haven't already? Because so much of that can be just the experience of trying something new, no matter what it is, can just be fun and invigorating. So perhaps it's something simple like a cooking class. Maybe it's taking a course on something that you've always considered for a hobby. Maybe it's painting, needlepointing, whatever it is. What's something new that you want to try? So, some insight now on some reflection in case it jogs your thoughts or inspires you on what are some of the things that I've done, some fun goals in the past, and what's on my list now. So, for things that have been completed, one of them, one of the fun items was actually getting my coaching certificates. So, that was something that I just really aspired to do, I had just such a heart for and passion for. And I said yes. And, believe it or not, within a couple short years, that fun goal list item turned into my career and life's work. So, just think big. What might that thing be for you? Because you never know what God is going to do with it. Take the leap, say yes, try it out. Another item is tennis lessons. So I grew up playing tennis here and there, going to some tennis camps, and really just enjoyed it, but would not call myself much more than a beginner whatsoever. But I had shared with a friend that that was something I wanted to do again, and we went to several group lessons together and just had the best time. And it was an amazing exercise. Another fun item that I had on here with purpose was a self defense class. And so that was something that I had been able to go to with a friend and actually took my sister along. And I just am so grateful to have the knowledge that comes with that. So maybe that's something to consider. Another item was a gratitude journal. I thought it would be really fun to reflect back each and every day on the little joys and the highlights of every day. So that's actually something that occasionally is ongoing. Last year, I did it every single day for the year, but that's just an incredible practice that brings joy and is fun to do. And then another one is reading. Again, so even if it's 10 minutes, even if it's brief, you're going to experience some of the just the power and the relaxation and just good stuff that comes with reading. So that's something to think about too. And then also time to journal and connect with the Lord. That's something that I just find is so fun and life giving, and have done a great job in the past and continue to lean into that now. So, really, what I suggest for you here is just have a good understanding of what is it that energizes you and what is it that drains you. And then do more of whatever that thing is that energizes you and do it more regularly. And then a few items for what is on my fun list right now. And I'll say, as you can probably tell, that I really believe that fun can sometimes be connected to productivity. I think that rest at times, you got to have a balance, right? But rest can be productive. And so that's kind of where some of my fun items come from. So, a few things. One is kind of through reflection and preparation. I find that really fun and powerful and meaningful. So, these are three simple tips that I'm working to do more regularly. You might want to write these down. Super simple, but super powerful. Is one, as you're ramping down maybe a week or a month, ask yourself the question or reflect through these three items. I'm excited for blank. I struggled with blank and I did blank to improve. So, three items, but if you did that and did that regularly and had that to look back on at the end of the year, just think how powerful that might be. Another amazing one. So, instead of maybe at the end of the day, you can feel defeated or frustrated if you didn't get everything checked off your to do list. But a way to counteract that is thinking through this phrase: tomorrow will be a great day because. And so as you ramp down your day, focusing more on the good that's to come than maybe what's lacking. And then the next thing, too, is simple in the sense of what are your big three for tomorrow? What are the three main things that you'd love to accomplish? And then everything else is, cherry on top. So to be able to, I think, reflect and simplify and focus, that feels really good for me. So maybe that's fun in a way for you too. And then another one is going on a birthday trip. So that's something we'll see with everything going on in the world right now if that's going to happen. I've got a birthday in early May, but would love to do that again this year and make it a tradition. Just some incredible memories through the past 2 or 3 years doing that. And then in the past, growing up, had been really interested in art and had gone to various art day camps and things like that, and just really had a passion for it. So that's something else that I would say that could be a hobby to get back into and just is really outside of the norm for me, and maybe for you too, whether it be drawing, painting, whatever it is, just getting creative. All right, friends. So today, as a recap, we talked through some different thoughts around fun, went through some powerful coaching questions on the topic, and then had the opportunity to just share some of my personal past and current fun goals, if you will, that I hope inspire and encourage you. So, upcoming, we've still got function. So, that's sort of career, finance, and fitness still to come in our goal setting series. If there are other topics too that you would love to hear after we wrap our goal setting series, let me know. Just shoot me a message over through a DM at Grace Based Christian Coaching on Instagram, or if you prefer email, I can be reached at gracebasedchristiancoaching@gmail.com. And then if you love this episode, I would love for you to please screenshot and share it on social media and tag me at Grace Based Christian Coaching so I can see that you're listening in. I would love for more and more people to be connected to this podcast, to the goal setting series, and the topic of fun, especially at this time. So good catching up and looking forward to talking with you again soon. Thanks for tuning into this episode of the Fruitful Faith Women on Mission podcast. If you love this episode, I would love for you to subscribe. New episodes will automatically show up on your phone when you subscribe. It's super convenient and you'll make sure you never miss a thing. So excited to share more with you soon.